If you spend half as much time as I do watching all sorts of different content creators, you will have noticed that there is one thing that has been common between people of all sorts of different niches, and that is lamenting lower views. It is everywhere. Everyone has experienced a downfall in general views, and what's fascinating is that there are a bunch of YouTubers who found out why. Intrigued? Now, what I'm about to share with you is a fact. Whether you love me or hate me, it still is a fact. A lot of creators from all sorts of sizes and in all sorts of spaces have been lamenting a overall drop in views and how their channels have been dying. This has happened in the political space. This has happened in the tech space, including the giants. I mean, our views are down, spoken by Linus Tech. I never would have thought that this would have been a sentence that we could have heard. We're going to check out a few of the things that they are saying. And of course, this has been happening in the history space. And there are several reasons as to why this situation has been happening. So I'd like to discuss these, talk about how this has affected my choice in the type of content that I decided to tackle. And after we talk about the reasons as to why this is happening, I would like to also briefly address the ways in which I've decided to react to it. Because at the end of the day, all content creators are on borrowed time, but I can tell you that much. We are resilient. And we always try to find and figure out a way to stay relevant and stay afloat.
The channel's been very on the struggle bus lately, which Luke and I were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Even WAN show today, it's like about three-quarters. Yeah, three-quarters of what it would normally be. It's been, I reached out to YouTube about it because I was basically just like, hey, yeah, seemed like there's been like a very dramatic shift. I do not remember the last time we uploaded a video and it got 350,000 views in the first day and a half, which, to be clear, is not, a valid complaint. I think that there's a lot of people the world over that would give their left testicle to get 100,000 views on a video.
I think that was mid to subpar performance in the house.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That was,
people want some scale.
Yeah, that was pretty catastrophic like 10 years ago. And nowadays it's like unheard of. I don't remember. Literally, we could upload a video unboxing a pool robot sponsored by the maker of the pool robot, and it would outperform that by like 2x.
No, yeah, I can see that. So, of course, do remember that everything is based on perspective. So we are talking about one of the biggest creators on the tech sphere. So clearly, I would say that for him, if a video doesn't hit 1 million quickly, then there is something wrong with it. It's probably going to look 10 out of 10. And on this video, they explain why. Now, the reason why I'm showing his video, and it won't be the only one we're going to briefly check out, but the reason why I chose this one specifically is because it's such a completely different niche to the one that I address usually on my channels, plural. Is because I wanted to underline that oftentimes, unfortunately, there are people in the audience, I would say not the fans, but people in our audiences as content creators, they always have to point the finger and say, it's your fault. Your content is horrible. You didn't make the type of video I like, and that's why you are falling off. Either that, or simply you stated something, whether it be on the political side, whether it be even, in fact, on the historical side, you said something that they didn't like, and so now they want to kick you while you're down. And the reality is that personally, I would be more than happy to take full responsibility and say, look, maybe you're right. Maybe the quality of my content is not as good. Maybe I don't deserve the views. I'm happy to consider that possibility. Problem is, though, too many people are having the same exact drop in views. Mathematically, it's the fault of the creator is not it. Once again, not because of me, simply because there are very talented people that have been affected. And it's just because they make slop, cannot be used on them. Use it on me, but you can't use it on them. No, it's happening at a large scale. It's happening up and down, left and right, huge numbers, massive creators, people that were hitting millions, and then all of a sudden that's gone overnight. It's in the back end of the algorithm, and we know what happened. We've all been there, haven't we? Consuming a lot of content online, and sometimes it can feel overwhelming, particularly when it comes to finding ways to store the information that matters to us. Well, there is a tool called Recall that can help you do just that, the kind sponsor of this video. See, Recall is an AI-powered, self-organizing, knowledge-based design to help you store and organize everything you have read, watched, or written by creating a well-drafted summary for you. But Recall is more than just summarizing. It automatically organizes contents with tags, generates summaries, and lets you chat with the content and connect related content together, whether it's online content or personal notes. Now, the feature I like the most, it's this browser extension Recall has, from which you can add content, and that also allows you to get summaries of videos and articles with only one click. You can have a brief summary in case you want to quickly see if you even want to read the whole thing or watch the whole video, or it can provide a detailed summary. You can chat with the content in the browser extension, skip to the key parts, highlight or take notes in the extension. And the content gets a lot of tags, so when you save it, it's automatically categorized. You can also import bookmarks from other apps. This works with YouTube videos, Shorts, Spotify, Apple Podcast, PDFs, Google Documents, and even TikTok. And it also comes with a mobile app. In August, Recall launched a major update and a new chat feature, which will enable you to chat across all the content you have saved in Recall, in order to get instant insight beyond the brain's limitation of memory and information synthesis. Instead of searching through your notes, just ask a question and instantly find the section you were looking for. And personally, this is very useful for me, particularly when I organize my scripts and research. So in other words, if I save all the videos from my channel, it's like I'm chatting with myself in a way. So, if you want to remember all the content you care about and even chat with your favorite experts, give it a try at getrecall.ai. And if you use my code Metatron25, you will get a 25% off of a subscription Recall that is valid until the 1st of November 2025. And massive thanks to Recall for sponsoring my video. Even Penguin has mentioned that he has seen a drop in views that was big, and he's an extremely successful creator. I mean, look at this, 3.9 million views. He's a millionaire. So it doesn't really matter to him. But then again, do remember that even though like 800,000 sounds like, man, that's a huge amount of views, true, but he does have 17 million subscribers. So even he made a video about this and showed us some analytics, and I do want to check that one out very quickly. And definitely there was no change in the type of content that he was producing. He didn't do anything like that. He just kept producing the normal type of content that he was always successful with. And he still is, don't get me wrong. But he did speak about it.
You've got eyes, and I assume you're literate. You know what the topic is. It's a huge YouTube issue that apparently has just started up and people have learned about. According to a bunch of YouTubers, there's been an abnormal drop in views on all of their channels. Allegedly, a site-wide decline in views, seemingly out of nowhere. And they've been doing a lot of exploring in the data, and they believe they've found the culprit. A YouTuber named Josh Strife Hayes just posted a video explaining all of it and showing all of the data, which is apparently corroborated by a ton of other channels experiencing very similar circumstances. And I'll go ahead and address the obvious explanation that people are absolutely going to be like Poindextering, pushing up their glasses. Well, actually, this is the reason. They fell off. That's going to be what most people typically default to. Like, there's probably no YouTube issue. These channels are probably just falling off or posting some
Impossible. With the numbers, no. That's not it.
Lackluster content that people aren't interested in. Or you could easily just point to the time of year that it is, you know, back to school and all that. And that's not like some kind of fucking outlandish hypothesis that'll have you, you know, thrown into a padded cell at Arkham Asylum. Like, that sounds reasonable. But if you look at the data here, it's not really supported because nothing changed in like the type of content and all of that until one day in particular across the board on every channel. August 10th. That is Judgment Day for YouTube channels where the views just got fucking smited, and it seems like something changed on the back end that has now led to this net decrease in views for pretty much every channel on the platform.
I want you to specifically look at your views from device type in August, specifically around the August 9th to 12th period, because that is the date range the desktop views specifically fall out of correlation with the other device types and become consistently lower. 12,000 per day.
Halved. In my case, I checked it.
drop to 6,000 per day over 4 days and then remain at that.
Correct.
The other channels I've asked to check their analytics also corroborated this same drop. August 10th shows a substantial and sustained reduction in views from desktop source only, while not showing a correlation reduction from other device types.
This is why I said that explanation of, oh, it's just the time of year, or they must have just been posting cringe on main or some shit, just doesn't really work here. Because when you look at the analytics, the views stayed the same on device types, except for one, which doesn't make any sense if the explanation is they were making bad content.
He's absolutely correct.
Shit no one wanted to see. Because if that was the case, you would see a reduction in views on all device types there, not just a single isolated one. He is showing here that all the views maintain the same consistency on all devices except computer post August 10th. So unmasked.
They changed the parameter in the back end. Probably they want to, I don't know why at this point, they're trying to enforce mobile watch time. I don't even know.
Asking the Scooby-Doo villain here of less views, we get something pretty fishy where it seems like they must have changed something on the back end when it comes to computer desktop views specifically. Computer views on post August 10th take a drastic decline and they stay that way. They don't go back into the same pattern, the same correlation that they previously were. Josh Strife-Hayes showcases it with his channel, and then he mentions other channels also corroborated that as well. So naturally, I wanted to take a peek at mine. I don't typically pay attention to views, so I didn't even realize that this was like a huge thing going on in the first place with like a reduced views out of nowhere. I set up the process exactly how he described, and I got very, very similar results to what he showcased.
Same, guys. Same. And in fact, I'm going to ask it. I don't know if Shad is watching this, or even Scalagrim, but you guys check it as well. But something is going to tell me, since we are all saying this, you're going to see the same thing. That's because we're all seeing the same thing.
Let's take a peek under the hood here. I did exactly what Josh said, 90 days device type views, and everything follows the same correlation that it usually does. And then August 10th, the next day, bang, bingo, bango, bongo, the computer desktop views get banished to the shadow realm, and it's
600,000. One of those went down to 600,000 for YouTube Golden Boy. Can you imagine that?
It's all cattywampus. It goes tits up.
Yeah.
But I thought, I never really look at this in the first place, so maybe this is just something where it kind of ebbs and flows. Like maybe some stinkers get farted out from me and people don't want to see that. You know, it is what it is. So I decided to go to the last 365 days. And no, it seems like the trend is pretty consistent. Like these usually do kind of stay in like the same general ranges together.
Yes.
Until you can see the tail here, August 10th, and now all of a sudden everything's changed. It's a whole new ball game. I don't think that this is a natural thing that just happened where every single channel, every single viewer on YouTube just decided to sell their computers and just watch YouTube exclusively on tablets. Or
also, because if that were the case, then we would see a double on the views on tablets and iPhones, as opposed to you would recover it that way if it was a swapping. It's not a swapping.
TVs. I'd be very surprised to hear.
No, he's absolutely right. So, and what this means, it's also that in combination with the idea of your subscribers are not getting notifications, that's another thing. I had to deal with this idea of people telling me like, oh, you don't post videos on history anymore. Apart from these last few weeks, which I understand, I kind of been covering all sorts of political topics and news, but that is because, I mean, as I expressed, this is what I'm interested in right now, particularly after what happened to Charlie Kirk. It kind of snapped me, but I will talk about more about this on a separate video, which I will release soon. But apart from this, even before, when I was doing a bit of reacts and some original content, there was a time when I was posting like 5 original historical videos a week, and people were still telling me, you don't post history anymore, because the only videos that they would get notified of were the reaction videos, like when I was reacting to big names like Friedman or Joe Rogan. And so that was really frustrating because it showed me that the notification system doesn't work even for people with full bell on. And in fact, one thing that I noticed is been happening, and this is happening now that I'm getting more general views due to the topics that I've chosen to cover, even though I will still post the historical videos, don't worry about that. Or before, it happens all the time that people tell me, yeah, I've been unsubscribed. I thought I was subscribed to you, but for some reasons I wasn't. Or people are like, I know for a fact I was subscribed to you, but I've been unsubscribed. So this has been happening. And the other thing is, as I say, I don't think you're actually getting notifications of my content. And so unfortunately, that means that you also have, and it's not your fault, but you're getting a incorrect perception and perspective on the kind of content that I post, because you're not getting the notifications of those videos that unfortunately for whatever reason the system has decided to bury on top of all these other problems of halved views that we have just discussed. Anyways, this is really what I wanted to talk about today. Lots of videos. I've seen all sorts of content creators that are having these kind of problems, and in all sorts of different niches. It is wrong and stupid to point the finger at us creators and say it's your fault. The only people that do this are the people that are shamelessly enjoying struggle, people who are struggling simply because they have a disagreement, or they're jealous, or they have different politics or different takes on whatever it is that they are angry about. And I think it's wrong to say that, because we know, we have seen the maths, it's happening to everyone, and it's just a real thing. So at this point, that's what I would do, honestly. I have never left a comment under a content creator that I was watching to insult him because he started to talk about something I wasn't interested in. I just simply stopped watching. And even this idea of declaring your departure as if you were in a freaking airport, saying, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe because you did this and I am offended. It's strange to me. Not simply because I'm a content creator, so I'm on this other side, but mostly because as a watcher, I don't do it. I've never done it. And I've been consuming YouTube for like 13 years now straight. I've never gone to another content. If I'm not interested, I just skip that upload. And then if they post something that I am interested in, I watch it. It's as simple as that. And if I do feel like leaving a comment, it's either positive comments or very occasionally constructive criticism. And that's it. That's just really how it is. Anyways, I mean, if you really want to go into the political aspect of this, then Skallagrim, who clearly doesn't have the same politics as me, at least in general, he's a lot more private when it comes to his politics, so I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he is suffering from the same problem. He has 1.6 million subscribers, and as you can see, his views are definitely on the low end, except for a few outliers, but we all get the outliers. In general, he has been affected too, even though he didn't bring any politics into the plate, if you will. Same when it comes to Shadiversity, who's barely managing 20,000. Well, on average, some videos do better. Like this one did really well for him, but then again, 21, 24, this is 28 again, 22, and people will say, oh, it's because of his politics, and it's not true. This is just false. Or other people will say it's because the content now is just slop. And once again, if that were the case, how is Linus Tech affected? I wanted to share this with you. Something has happened in the back end. I hope that they fix it. As of now, the kind of topic that I've covered has changed for the better, the sort of views that I get generally. But I wish that even regular videos would not get penalized by the algorithm on top of having to deal with halved views from desktop, because it really makes our life harder. But anyways, compared to regular jobs, it's still one of the easiest jobs on the planet. So I'm not going to complain too much. And I want to thank you, each and every single one of you, for your continuous support. Thank you. Bye. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and thank you to the sponsor of this video, Recall. Don't forget to click the link in the description and use my code Metatron25 for their fantastic offer for you. Bye.